Okay, testing, testing. 1, 2, 3. Let's see how this is going to turn out. Okay, what I thought that I would do, which by the way, my name is Dawn, and I am another Dawn production. Funny little story how that came to be. By the way, this is my very first video, so please go easy on me. But I love telling the story. So I used to be Cool Beads, Kewl beads, but I make other crafts too. And so I used to work for AT&T for like 15 years, and whenever I would make something new, I would take it to work, and one day one of my coworkers said, "Another Dawn production." And I thought, well, that's kind of catchy because I'm an all-around crafter. So, however, jewelry making is my biggest passion. And through my journey, I discovered these little guys. Let me see if you can see it. These little guys. I think I got them as a free gift from Temu or something. But anyway, and first, after figuring out what not to do, one time I even wrapped the string all the way around it, trying to get it to work. Because I was under the impression that you just stick the string in there and squeeze it. Nope, that's not it. So, anyway, after many epic fails, I finally did figure out how to use it. And I've even tried looking for some videos. Where is the camera? There it is. Of how to, and I don't know if I'm not putting the right words in the Google search or the YouTube search, but anyway, I have finally figured out a successful way of how to use these, so I thought that I would share it with you. So all you're going to need for tools are your standard crimping pliers, some string, whichever you like to use in order to get your project started. You can do this either way. You can go ahead and string your project. Be sure to use a bead buddy on the end. I don't know where mine's at the moment, but the little squeezy clippy thing that you put at the end is a must have. Otherwise, everything just rolls off the end and you're very sad. So you can, string your project and then do each end. Or I typically already have an idea of what my bracelet's going to look like, so I go ahead and put this on first. So all you have to do is string your crimp tube through, and then, and I actually just recently learned this little trick or tip, string it back, loop it around, and string it through again, which it is a little fiddly to get that done. I know I gotta make sure and stay on camera. Again, my very first video ever, so any and all mistakes, please bear with me. I appreciate your patience. And you just want to string that through, and you want to get it as tight as you possibly can, which I sometimes will even use my pliers to pull and get it as small as possible. And then use your crimp pliers. And it doesn't really matter how you crimp it, like where the string is when you crimp it, because it's all going to be smushed in there. So you do your first little crimp, and then turn it, find where your little divot, where your little bump is, and then squeeze it again. Well, come on. You can do it. Run, Forrest, run. Well, I'm sorry, guys. I'm having trouble. And I have my glasses on. Ugh. Yeah, I normally use my magnifying glass, but okay, there we go. So you just crimp normally, crimp and then, fold it in half and then squeeze it tight, and then you've got, come on, focus. You've got that. So now you want to clip off this excess. Now when you're starting, it's a little bit different than when you're ending. So you clip off the excess, and then sometimes, not always, now this one looks to be open pretty good. You have to open it even more in order to get it to go in. But you just put it in there. Sometimes you have to like pop it in there. There it goes. Now once it's inside, my glasses are not working right now. I don't know why. It's kind of weird. Let me see. Come on, focus. Focus. So once you get it in there, sorry, I keep going off camera. Then you just squeeze it. And you want to squeeze it really, really, really good until those seams go together. And I usually start off with my crimping pliers to get it going, and then I switch over to my regular pliers, and I just squeeze, squeeze, squeeze this side, that side, try to get the bottom, go kind of at an angle, this way, that way. I wish it would focus better. And then there you go. And then it's a nice clean look to it, in my opinion. You want to do the tug test, make sure. But if you loop it around, like I showed you, then you don't have any problems. Because I unfortunately did find out because I didn't used to. I used to just stick it on there, crimp it, cut it off. That was it. I didn't loop it around or thread it through the other way. And things were coming apart. And so I started putting it in twice, just looping it back through. And that was okay, but they were still coming apart. So now that I started looping it around, it seems to be working a whole lot better. So now you're ready to get stringing. You've got a little loop here at the end where you can attach your jump ring and your clasp or other whatever you are requiring for your design. So anyway, thanks for joining me for my very first video. Once again, please, I do appreciate constructive, kind criticism. I know I need to work on staying in camera. I've got this brand new doohickey that if you were to see my craft table right now, oh my gosh, I've got it in order for it to just do what it's doing right now. It's actually kind of comical. Anyway, I want to thank the amazing beading community that has, I'm going to try not to cry, that has been so kind and accepting. My sweet friend Colleen and Amy from Campbell's Creations, Brittany, Shavers, and Becky, and Jenny, and Heather, and Jody. They have just been so incredibly supportive and kind towards me. And so, if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be doing this right now. Finally, I think I got out of chicken mode. Now all I gotta do is figure out how to upload it and maybe do some editing. I don't know how to do that. But anyway, these are called bead tips. And all you do is just squeeze them, kind of like a fishing sinker. And they just go right around your crimp tube, and they're really